The 2K Sports pregame show.
Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. It's all about the Eastern Conference. That's where the action is today as the Atlanta Hawks get ready to battle. And it's their first look at this year's Pistons here for the first game of the NBA's 82-game Reg 3 and losing just one.
And as you would expect, they came out on top in last season's series against this club, but no reason to expect anything different this time around.
Exactly. Guys, they're clearly the better team, but you can't take anybody for granted. They're all NBA players, unprepared and focused and ready to play.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Andre Drummond is out there with John Lewis. And it's Harris in at the small forward. Now here's Jackson. They set the screen. Here's Caldwell Pope. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Caldwell Pope's got the first points up on the board tonight here for the Pistons. Got it off in time. That misses. Would have kind of had it gone in. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Pistons lead by 2. 2K Sports back in a moment here at Phillips Arena.
Basketball. This is my bag.
It's an interesting concept that Dwight has to take something very seriously in order to have fun. He does say he has a burning passion to win a championship. He's been in the finals, and this is a guy that's got still a lot to shoot for, he feels, in his career.
It's a great point, Kevin. And the challenge for Dwight is how to balance how serious he is and how passionate he is with having that fun on the court that he's after.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Greg, no uncontested shots for the most part. That's why they've had success.
They've got Cephalosha. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Hardaway. Then it's Mike Scott. And it's Splitter in at the 5. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. Clock at 6. Schroeder kicks to Scott. Outside Hardaway. Looking for Splitter. He gets it there. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
Unbelievable basket. I mean, giving up a lot of height there, but he was not to be denied.
Not when the game's hanging in the balance. That makes it a little different. He was going to get to the rim no matter who was standing in the way on that one.
And so it's a close game.
And now, the 2K Sports halftime show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal. A competitive matchup for Atlanta in the first quarter. Some good moments from both teams, but and that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started. Now back to Kevin Harlan.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Detroit, Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Harris is out there with John Lewis. And it's Drummond in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Pass to Howard. And he dunks it down.
And he's just going all out to get the second chance points. Just a terrific finish.
There was no one that was going to prevent him, GA, from converting that one.
Well, clearly this is the kind of game that could come down to one or two plays, and he wants to be the guy to make those plays.
All sorts of time. And good. Got the English that time as it falls.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Millsap a screen on the wing. Corver. It'll count, and it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Here's Schroeder. Chris Humphries is out there with Cephalosha. Then there's Kyle Korver. Then there's Dennis Schroeder. And it's Howard in at center. So that's the lineup for Atlanta.
Oh, that's the shot of the game.
Well, he was fearless enough to get it up and down, and it paid off for him.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're down by 4. There's 47 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. He told his guys, time's running low. If we're going to make our move, it's going to be now. Are you guys ready? And as they nodded, he said, let's go get it. Kevin?
Atlanta with the ball. They lead by 4. Schroeder. Here's Humphries. Misses in close.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
Well, it's urgent time right now. This is when they got to come up big.
Yeah, you got to get points here. I mean, there's no way you can get around it. You've got to be able to get baskets here in a short period of time. They have got to put a body on him, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Yeah, they have to extend the game. I mean, plain and simple. Use every second you can on the clock here.
Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
And I don't need to tell you guys, those free throws are big. 2-possession game now.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're trailing by 4. 17 seconds left in the game. Drummond working against Howard. Jackson. Yes! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul. Gets the first, and that will put them up by 2. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They're behind by 2. 9 seconds left in the fourth. What's your take, guys?
You know what? You can go for the 3 to win or the 2 to tie. What's your choice in a situation like this, Clark?
Well, I don't think you set that decision in stone and anchor it in this timeout. You see how things play out. You're going to try to get a good, quick shot. And if it's a good 3 with a good shooter, let it fly. If it's something in the paint, then you take that. But it's about being a good, quick shot in this situation.
On the free throw, no good. Atlanta calls timeout. Here's Howard, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Andre Drummond picks one up.
And they had a foul to give, but you want to use it on the ground.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but at least they did get the clock stopped. That is the one saving grace of that situation.
That's good. Going 1 or 2 from the line, and that gives them the lead.
Hey folks, welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal.
He deserves a ton of credit on how many areas of the game he impacted tonight. His defense was superb. Offensively, he was ready.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey there, and thank you for joining us on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson.
Oh, say does that star.
It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines. The New York Knicks come into this one after a win against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
And even in hostile territory, as they were that day, they had no jitters at all. I mean, the confidence kept growing as the shots kept falling.
And they were falling big time. I mean, from the top to the bottom of that roster, everybody was locked, loaded, and spraying jumpers.
We got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court for Atlanta, Dennis Schroeder is out there with Hardaway. Then there's Howard. Then there's Kent Bazemore, and it's Millsap in at the 4. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3. That's going to send Dwight Howard to the line. That's on Joakim Noah. The Hawks shooting their first free throw tonight.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers.
And you can't take those numbers lightly, fellas. I mean, their free throw shooting made a difference for them in a lot of their games last season.
Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Here's Bazemore. It's hauled in by Porzingis. Rose kicks to Anthony. 1 second left, and that one's good. Anthony's got his first 2 points.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge, always.
And still a close game as the first. And before the game, Star Center Joakim Noah talked about the intensity. You know, I think Joakim can certainly make a case, Clark, for Chicago being that famished 5, especially with Rose back on the court.
There's no doubting that, Kevin. I mean, even the addition of Gasol with his 2 rings, the way he left things in L.A., that left him with an appetite that has him still hustling.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Knicks?
It's been about the effort. Love the hustle they've shown here in the first.
Yeah, it's due to their hustle, as you said, Greg, and it's showing up on the scoreboard, too.
On the court for Atlanta, Cephaloshin is out there with Scott. Then there's Dennis Schroeder, and it's Splitter, and it's Korver in at the 2 guard.
Boy, you got to love that nice assist by Jennings.
New York on D, and this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and this game kicks off a 4-game season series between the 2 teams.
2 conference foes, guys, looking to take game 1 tonight. It's very interesting to see who can land the first blow.
Stolen by Thomas. Inside, and stolen by Splitter. And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way, and that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
No, there was no hard way about it. I mean, they got their points easily on dunks and layups against a defense that really didn't offer much of a fight.
You know, I think he just wants to tinker with the game plan a little bit, and I think that's a wise timeout.
And part of it, too, Greg, was he saw some things going on out there that he didn't care for. Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Hawks ahead.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny. A competitive matchup for Atlanta in the first quarter. Some good action during the period, as it was just a 1-point. And that's it for halftime, as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. One of the stories here, Dwight Howard getting it done today.
And what he gives his team, guys, is an edge. He just lights up an arena when he gets it going. And in that first half, young fella had it going.
Not just an edge, though, Greg. I think he gives them a confidence and a swagger they wouldn't otherwise have. And he's a special player to have around, no doubt about that.
We've got Anthony. Porzingis is out there with Noah. Then it's Rose. And it's Lee in at the shooting guard position. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Kurt Rambis. Offensive rebound. Here's Noah. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. First trip to the line for him here. That free throw, no good. And last year, not exactly up to Noah's lofty standards. Was way down in field goal percentage and free throw percentages compared to the season before, but he did not play completely healthy all of last year either.
A little dinged up, missed 13 games more than he had the season prior, and also the minutes dropped as well. And you could just see him laboring at times on the floor, clearly affected by those injuries.
Knicks trail by 4. Rose passes to Anthony. Here's Williams. Rebound by the Hawks.
You know, he can be a little hesitant near the rim. We saw it there. If the defense offers just a little bit of resistance, he doesn't take it up quite strong enough.
And here's the fast break. Rose leading the way. And it's denied. The shot will not go. And we've reached the end of the third. Hawks lead by 4. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. Atlanta with the ball. They lead by 4. Fourth quarter on the court for the Hawks. Paul Millsap out there with Kent Bazemore. Then there's Hardaway. Then there's Howard. Bazemore misses.
That's excellent defense right there on the perimeter.
Here's Jennings. Here's Thomas. No luck.
They needed that bucket desperately.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Guys, they're not going to be in any rush.
Milk the clock a little bit.
Now you need every basket you can get.
Greg, I think they're still alive here, but they better execute every trip down the floor from here on out.
New York calls timeout. They're behind by 2. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Lakers lead. Corner shot. Connects. And tie game. That is a huge basket right there.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
It's good! Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 2. Just 4 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
They simply need a basket here, Kevin. With this much time left, I'd attack the basket and try to get something in the paint.
Here's Rose. Got it! A huge shot to tie it up.
How about the inbound pass there? Easy bucket.
Here's Howard. Oh, and a chance to win the game, but the last second shot is offline. Time
Ladies and gentlemen,
start of overtime just upon us as they get ready for the jump ball. And so off the tip, it's New York. And no shortage of excitement here, and we're officially underway in overtime in this game. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. On the court for Atlanta, we've got Splitter, Paul Millsap out there with Cephalosha. Then there's Kyle Korver. Sinks it. He has tied up this game. Oh, what a shot.
That kind of power move has become a trademark of his.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. So for the Hawks, Dwight Howard is checked in for Splitter. Ken Bazemore comes in for Cephalosha. And Tim Hardaway Jr. subbed in for Kyle Korver. Here's Anthony. Bazemore grabs the miss.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Schroeder with the ball. He dishes it to Howard. Four on the clock. No good.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
Right side Rose from 12 feet out. Got it!
He can be a matchup nightmare if he can get it in the paint.
Atlanta calls timeout. They trail by 2. 6 seconds left to play in the first overtime. What do you think, guys?
And it all comes down to this. Still enough time on the clock that they should be able to get a real good look.
Yeah, and in this case, you debate often. You hear guys debate whether to take a 2 for the tie or a 3 to win. In my case, with this situation, I think you go hard inside and see if you can get a good shot in close.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
And that's curtains for him. Some really good work at the charity stripe to close this one out.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. Guys, what do you think?
You know what? You can talk all you want, but I just don't see a scenario that's going to get them back in it.
Yeah, who knows what...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player, Carmelo Anthony. He delivered quite a star performance. Not uncommon, as we've seen him have this sort of terrific night many times. And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal.
the 2K Sports pregame show.
The Tower of the Americas at Hemisphere Park. Reminders of the International Expo San Antonio hosted years back. It's home to the Alamo and the Spurs. San Antonio, Texas, as we bring you an interconference rivalry here at the AT&T Center. It's the end of a string of away games for the Hawks as they look forward to returning home after this one. Still trying to find that groove they had last year. They'd like to grab hold of some new momentum and get closer, Steve, to where they were a season ago.
And right now for the Hawks, what a lackluster start to the season it's been for them. Where are the championship contenders that we've grown accustomed to seeing?
Contenders? These guys don't even look like a playoff team right now.
Looking at the starting five for the Atlanta Hawks. They've got Kent Bazemore. Howard is out there with Paul Millsap. Then there's Kyle Korver. Now here's Howard. Outside Korver. Outside Millsap. No good on the three. Well, it was the San Antonio Spurs in their last game, a loss to the Nuggets.
Yeah, I had the chills watching that. It really was a nightmare defensively for them when you go into that building and get punished by some very hot shooting.
They didn't challenge the shooters. They didn't defend the shooters like they should have. But once the fans got into it and the arena started ramping up and cranking up, it was over.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve. And really, how about the quick release on that triple there, because he's given up a lot of height in that match.
One quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. The Hawks on top, leading by just 2. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so... Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way 2 of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become 2 of the best centers in the NBA at this age.
Yeah, and especially, Kevin, when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers, who traded him to Memphis for his brother.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. Well, from what you guys are seeing from the Hawks, what are you thinking about their performance?
How good has the ball movement been here? Just absolutely terrific.
Boy, that kind of timely passing, Greg, really fun to watch.
Manu and Kawhi filling out the perimeter. Aldridge out there with Duncan, and it's Mills in at the point guard. So that's who San Antonio starts the second round. And stolen by Cephalosha.
I'd like to see him use a little clock here.
I agree with you. Milk the clock with this possession. That's what they've got to be doing.
And he gets it to go. Here's Mills. They get it back. Can't connect from short range.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And so we can...
Coach, we're going to have to climb a bit of a hill here in the second half. What are you telling your guys they need to do to turn this thing around?
I woke up in a new Bugatti.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Philadelphia taking on Boston.
Ready to go? Ready to go?
So Philadelphia will get the first possession. Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. They've got Kyle Singler. Devin Harris is out there with Steve Blake. Then it's David Lee. And it's Pekovic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Wallace.
Those are the first points of the game.
Nice hoop to get the scoring started there.
Blake kicks to Pekovic. Lowry with the ball. Outside Durant. And a miss there on the triple. On defense, Boston. Here's Singler. Finished off the brace. Singler's got his first points in this one.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan, to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Blake with it while recovering. Pekovic with a screen. Now Blake. 6 to shoot. Good work defensively by Lowry.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Durant, no good.
Ill-advised shot there, Clark.
Yeah, exactly. That was lower than low percentage.
Harris passes to Lee. Back to Harris. Screen by Lee, and it's Harris off the drive, and it's blocked. A second chance effort. Here we go, one-on-one. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Here's Blake while recovering. With some arc. Here's Pekovic. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Well, I love that sweet up fake, Kevin. It worked like a charm there and gave him a clear path to the lane and then to the hoop.
Well, that move is one of the prettiest out there if you can pull it off. And so here is Philadelphia after the basket by Boston. Here's Blake, and Boston with the rebound. Now here is Lowry. Outside Durant takes the three. They get it back, and he jams it with authority.
And, guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Clark grinding away, 100% effort all the time.
And Kevin, all that effort pays off. How many of those spectacular putback jams do we see from this guy? A bunch. Kyle Lowry with a beautiful setup.
Philadelphia trails by 6. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Pekovic can't cash in on the 10-foot jumper. And here's Boston. Big stretch here going 10-2.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup, give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Chris Kaman is checked in for Nikola Pekovic. Festus Ezeli comes in for Lee. Matt Barnes is checked in for Singler. And Shabazz Muhammad subbed in for Steve Blake. And there's a whistle. That goes on Jeremy Lin. That's his first foul. Boston making a switch here. Ryan's checked in.
Joe Bryant.
We've got 1:55 left here in the first quarter. Kaman kicks to Barnes. Another shot. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Boston.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
Yeah, the other thing, though, is they have attack in the open floor. They're definitely getting a lot of easy ones that way.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
And it's Harris off the drive. Tries again, and it's good on the way up.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
And, you know, time will tell how big a factor that becomes in this game, guys, but if you're the coaching staff, it's certainly a point of emphasis.
And sometimes we all just want to show people that we have the range.
Yeah, you speaking from experience? We already know how good his range is. He shouldn't be firing from that deep.
And Bryant wide open. He shoots. Again, the miss by Bryant. And now Philadelphia on the break. Barnes got the ball. Muhammad, no luck.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
For Boston, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. The first free throw is good. Williams, he's checked in for Peyton. Jenkins, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Both free throws good from Lynn. 41 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Jenkins dishes to Muhammad. He feeds it to Kaman from 12 feet out. The shot will not go. Nice D from Bergeron. Here's Boston now. They're on a 16-7 run. Bryant's shot is good.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
And Jenkins kicks to Muhammad. Here's Kaman, but he gets it back. The pass to Ezeli. And that one's good.
That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there. Dead on target.
Here's Lynn. Dishes to Bergeron. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Boy, what a slick job of passing from Jeremy Lin on that one.
And here is Muhammad. 2 on the clock. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. He's off on the second. The score.
Ladies and gentlemen,